Accra, a city traditionally known for its low structures, is being given a new definition. In recent times, the city is experiencing a rapid increase in the number of high-rise buildings. In a quest to modernize cities, most people have adopted innovative ways of putting up such buildings. These high-rise buildings add a touch of class to existing edifices and are common in developed and developing countries. Some of these high-rise buildings have found their way here, and the question on the minds of many is, how prepared is Ghana in the event of a disaster?
In most developed countries, they make the best out of high-rise buildings, but the disadvantage might be that Ghana is not really prepared in case of any disaster. We usually lose a lot of lives and our properties through the collapsing of those buildings.
I
prefer high-rise buildings because limited land is properly used. Low-level structures normally occupy a lot of space.
The sprawling of high-rise buildings is not new in Ghana. As far back as the early 60s, Ghanaians lived in flats that had as high as 16 to 18 floors. Kwame Nkrumah flats at Latabiokoshi and that of Kaneshi Foyo, all in the national capital, come readily to mind. Today, the scarcity of land leaves the country with no option than to intensify the use of land through density. A land economist, Nyahodate, says putting up of high-rise buildings is the best as the country has become the preferred destination for investment. But is land being used judiciously?
No, we are not, in the sense that, ideally, planning should occur before development. But you find out that due to a myriad of factors, it is the other way around. People develop before planning interventions are made.
Frank Taki is the director of the consortium, a firm made up of architects, planners and engineers. To him, there is no acceptable limit as far as high-rise buildings are concerned.
If you look at the Eastern Bloc, like when you say the traditional Eastern Bloc, Russia, Hungary, Poland, those areas, and Singapore, for example, heights of 60, 70, 80, look very, very normal. I mean, it's nothing out of the ordinary. In Ghana, when we see 6, 7, 8, 10 stores, and they look like they are super high-rise buildings. So when you see 15, 18, they look astronomically high. So it's quite relative. I don't think there's any internationally, defined standard for height.
Construction of huge edifices come at a cost.
High-rise buildings are valuable in the sense that they occupy a predetermined space. It is not easy putting up a high-rise building, and so what goes into it has to be carefully planned. Because of this, most high-rise buildings have very high values.
Engineers and architects insist safety nets must be adhered.
You want to look at the issue of privacy, fire safety. We are so low relative to other countries in terms of the high rise. So there must be technologies to fight all of these things. I'm hoping that the town planning authorities and city engineers department would take that into view before they issue the permits to ensure that the view from my building is not affecting your privacy.
Buildings beautify the city and economize land, but some parts of the capital are said to be earthquake-prone zones. What is the solution?
We have to just go back to the first principles. These days, it's not too difficult to learn. Just copy and paste principle, okay? Learning to do what somebody else has done. Is that difficult? Chinese live on 40 stories apartments. So all you have to do is just learn to do the right thing. I mean, we make it seem like everything is so difficult to do. I don't agree with that one. It is possible to have a good maintenance culture if you really want to.
In future, I think we should think of having pedestrian districts where this one-stop shop kind of idea will be implemented.
Singapore has massive high-rise buildings and has benefited immensely from them as far as investment is concerned. The UK's Canary Wharf is a beautiful edifice that makes room for easy access to mass transport. Ghana can take a cue from these countries now that high-rise buildings has become the in thing. Rebecca Iwa reporting.